Intuitive eating helps you build a healthy relationship with food, especially if you're recovering from an eating disorder or you are recovering from just that unhealthy relationship with food. If you're constantly worrying about what's going into your body next, hi everyone, what's up? My name is Destiny. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the diet that I recommend and that I use every single day. I really hate to call this type of eating a diet, but it really is because a lot of people don't do it. It's literally a diet to being a healthy individual, both mentally and physically. So this diet is called intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is basically making food choices that doesn't make you feel guilty. It's eating what you want when you want it. It's basically not depriving your body of what your body truly wants and sometimes needs. Like some days I really want a brownie, and guess what? I eat the brownie. I'm a huge dessert person and I love to have dessert after I eat dinner. And with intuitive eating, I do that almost every single day and I continue to see results. I continue to see change with my body, and I have PCOS, which is a huge deal. I have insulin resistance, I have all that, but I continue to see change. Intuitive eating is basically a non-diet approach to the traditional diet. Like, we're not doing keto, or we're not like counting calories and stuff like that. I really hate counting calories and macros. I think it's a lot of time that I spend worrying about food, becoming obsessed with food. This is how we create eating disorders, people, okay? We don't want that. Eating disorders are something that they come a lot of the times from diet. Well, eating disorders do also happen from family members, from the way you look and perceive your body, from the way others perceive your body. It also comes from the diets and changes that you try to make to your food that you necessarily don't know how to do, or you do it and it's not satisfying to you. Imagine being hungry every single day because you're on a diet. Of course you're gonna go eat the Pringles in the cabinet. Like, you're hungry, like your body's looking for something to satisfy those needs, and a lot of times they are carb heavy foods or sweet foods that are high in refined sugar that aren't necessarily great for your body. But when you're putting great high carb, fat, protein, all of that into your body naturally through your diet plans, eating many small meals throughout the day, you're never going to feel hungry. I don't even plan out my food that I eat every single day. I'm like, oh, what sounds great today? And I eat that. One of the biggest issues with dieting is you'll hear about yo-yo dieting. That basically means you gain weight and lose weight and diet and stop dieting and over and over and over again because you can't contain consistency in your life. A lot of people cannot contain consistency in their life. It's not just you, I promise. So if you look at the National Eating Disorder Collaboration, a lot of eating disorders come from fasted or skipped meals or binge eating. And basically when you're eating on a diet and all of a sudden you break that diet and you go and eat that bag of chips in the cabinet, that is you binge eating. That is binge eating. You are depriving your body of what it wants, you're depriving your mind of what it wants, and then you're finally giving in, going to get it, and then feeling guilty about it after. You don't want to feel guilty about your diet. You don't want to feel guilty about the food that you're putting into your body, because there is nothing to feel guilty about. Food is fuel, and I'll say this a million times over and over and over again. Food is fuel for your body. You need food in your body to survive. Great foods every single day. A lot of calories, especially if you are working out, especially if you maintain a high profile, high velocity life. Also, according to the National Eating Disorder Collaboration, that skipping foods, skipping meals, and refraining from eating certain food groups, such as restricting fats, carbohydrates, this can all lead to an eating disorder. And if you were to go to a naturopathic doctor or a doctor in general, they'll tell you that you are starving your body. And starving your body just leads to your body creating more fat storage. You're gaining weight, you're yo-yoing in your weight, and that's not healthy. According to this website as well, according to this study, that 2 out of 3 diets don't work for the long term. Let's get talking about intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is literally not depriving your body body of the foods that it needs, the sources of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, stuff like that your body needs, grains your body needs. As an individual with PCOS, I can see where a lot of this yo-yo dieting could come into play. I've been told a lot of the times to not eat dairy, to not eat bread, to not eat carbohydrates. And it's not necessarily about not eating carbohydrates. I had to go gluten-free because I was allergic to gluten and didn't know. And with PCOS, gluten and carbohydrates and high carbohydrates causes my body to retain water, to retain fat storage and stuff like that. My insulin resistance goes through the roof when I have gluten. I could still eat carbohydrates every single day and feel satisfied. I eat sweet potatoes, I eat baby red potatoes. I love carbohydrates and I will always eat them and incorporate them into my diet. Dairy, on the other hand, has been a big issue for me in the past. I still incorporate dairy occasionally, but this dairy is usually in the form of coconut milk yogurt or almond milk yogurt. It's not necessarily drinking milk and stuff. Another type of non-dairy dairy product that I love is oat milk. Another thing that I think is really important to include into your daily life is a daily vitamin and a probiotic. The probiotic that I take is the Garden of Life Mood Plus 50 billion doctor formulated probiotic, and I take that twice a day. I know it says take 2 capsules at the same time, but I prefer to take one in the morning as soon as I wake up, about 2 hours before I'm gonna eat my breakfast, and then before I go to bed about 2 hours after I've eaten my last meal of the day. And then the daily vitamin that I take is the Garden of Life multi-daily vitamin for women. So I'll include another picture of that right here so you guys can see. So overall, intuitive eating is eating your normal foods, carbs, proteins, fats, grains, stuff like that. Dairy, I can't have dairy because I'm lactose intolerant, and I'm also a vegetarian, so I try to stay away from dairy. That's like just a personal choice that I make, but I still continue to see results in my everyday life, and I'm satisfied without dairy. I'm satisfied without cheese. I don't really particularly like cheese. I'm satisfied without milk. Don't love milk, but I do love oat milk, stuff like that, and I find alternatives that make me satisfied as well. That's another thing with intuitive eating. Just because you can't necessarily have something, I'm not saying if you're allergic to gluten to go eat gluten. Definitely don't eat that. Don't do that. If I did that, I would be sick for a week. But find alternatives that also make you just as satisfied. Find healthy alternatives. Like if you love ramen noodles, go to the health food store. Go to Whole Foods. They have amazing, amazing items now that literally taste just like it and are so much healthier for you. It's all about making healthy food choices all day long. It's about having a guideline. Follow the pyramid. Follow what you need and eat that every single day. Like I always say, half of your entire plate should be vegetables every single night for dinner. A quarter of your plate should be carbohydrates, and then a quarter of your plate should be protein. And that is how you can consistently balance your diet. Now, with intuitive eating, I still do maintain a calorie deficit because I am still trying to lose weight. This calorie deficit is included in my intuitive eating, and I still eat satisfyingly every single day. It's about what makes you happy. And I genuinely have to say, since I began intuitive eating, I don't think about food the same way I used to. I don't obsess over food. I don't worry about me wanting a few chocolate covered pineapple pieces in the fridge anymore. I worry about whether or not I'm satisfied with my stomach, with my mind, at the end of the night before I go to bed. And then I wake up and I do it all over again. I can definitely go more in depth to intuitive eating if you guys would like. You can go on to Psychology Today and you can read a ton of empirical journal articles. You can read experiments and studies that have all been done on intuitive eating and how it really has changed so many people's lives. Intuitive eating helps you build a healthy relationship with food, especially if you're recovering from an eating disorder or you are recovering from just that unhealthy relationship with food. If you're constantly worrying about what's going into your body next, I highly suggest giving intuitive eating a try. Alexis Conason made this entire article and this study about intuitive eating and how it really could be the best choice, especially for younger people. I feel like young people now have such an unhealthy relationship with food, including myself for a really long time until I discovered intuitive eating and really how it changed my life. Alexis talks about how traditional weight loss methods and diets are usually pretty ineffective at losing weight and producing consistent long-term effects, and I think that's so important. Nobody ever tells you 5 years from now, are you going to still be keto? Are you going to still not ever eat carbs or never eat fats again? fats are necessary. You need fats in your body. You need healthy sources of fats. Alexis also talks about how intuitive eating really allowed individuals to become one with their food. These individuals produced long-term consistent results with intuitive eating, and many to this day have continued with the weight loss journey that they were on. And it didn't have to necessarily be a weight loss journey. It's to see whether or not that they were satisfied and happy every single day with the foods they eat. Alexis showed that these individuals produced healthier relationships with foods. It helped their blood pressure, their cardiovascular system, their lipids, their fats, all overall blood work came back so much better, and it really helped with individuals' body image. So I think intuitive eating is really important, and whether or not you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, maintain a healthy weight, or just have a better relationship with food, intuitive eating is something that I live by. I am not a medical doctor. I cannot give you advice on whether or not to follow these instructions, but basically I'm giving you the information from what I have found from me, from the information that I have studied and the journal articles that I've read and the studies I've read and looked into, how intuitive eating can really change a person's life both mentally and physically. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I could totally go more in depth with intuitive eating if you guys would like. Please leave me a comment down below, let me know. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you want to see next. Bye guys.